Hey y'all, and welcome back to another episode of MyPhilosoVie. This episode, we will be focusing on the topic of acceptance and accountability. And what I really want us all to understand about these two concepts is that no matter what happens in our life, we are only in control of our actions and our responses. And with that, life is all about the choices that you make. So the decisions that we decide to make, they cook up various consequences that sometimes we're not always prepared for. I know I have been in a situation where I assumed that the consequence was going to be one way and then it ended up being something else. I had to adapt. I had to figure out, what I was going to do in my particular situation. I feel like acceptance is something that we all have had issues with, whether it's accepting the fact that you worked really hard for something and you did not get it, or you have been presented with an opportunity that is going to better not only your future, but those around you. I personally had to accept the fact that I didn't finish school. I did 2 years of college and I had a lot of life issues going on at the time that I didn't acknowledge, first and foremost. And it got to the point where I was working myself to death to where I wasn't thinking straight, so I wasn't making all the right decisions. And my decisions ended up cooking up various consequences that I was not prepared for. I'll just say that it took me 2 to 3 years to come to this realization that I didn't finish school. And I don't know what it is that you have to come to terms with, but come to terms. The more you run away from it, the longer it will take you to get a hold of yourself, the longer it will take you to get to where you need to go. It's holding you up from where you're actually trying to go and your end result. So once I came to the realization that, okay, Avi, you didn't finish school, you're home, you are working, you're going about your goals in a different way, in a different light than other people have went, which is fine. I had to come to terms with, my path is going to be different from the next person or my best friends. I have friends that have finished school. And what really got me, y'all, is when I was coming home from work. I had been working in manufacturing, and as I'm driving, I just had a thought, right? And my initial thought was, or I had been looking at Instagram, I think, like earlier in the day. And as I'm scrolling through Instagram, I have friends that are graduating. I have friends that are getting married. I have friends that are accomplishing their goals. Seeing my friends and seeing my peers level up in life, it kind of gave me this sense of like an insecurity to where I started feeling bad about myself and questioning my path and my life and the route that I was taking. And I just had the realization, or I had the thought that, oh, if I was still at UNCG, then I would have graduated by now. And at this point in time, there is no guarantee that I would have graduated by now, but that's just my thought process. I thought that by this period or by this time frame, I would have graduated by now. But then I had a second thought, and that second thought was, okay, I'm exactly where the Most High wants me to be. This is not a mistake. Everything happens for a reason. And that quote right there, everything happens for a reason. I literally had to adopt that phrase because there were a lot of things that had happened in my life that I didn't understand. And with acceptance, a lot of the times you're accepting something that you don't understand, but you have to trust and believe that it's going to be okay and that it's going to work out. So once I came to the realization that it's been plenty of situations where I felt like I was somewhere I wasn't supposed to be, I had to switch my mindset and tell myself, okay, yes, this is exactly where I'm supposed to be. I wasn't supposed to be here, then I would not be here. And I can tell you countless and countless examples of times where I was supposed to be, or I felt like I wasn't supposed to be here, but I'm still here. So there's a reason why you're here. If you're still alive, well, and breathing, and you woke up this morning and you have breath in your body, then you definitely are supposed to be here. I had a time in my life where I woke up and I was just like, yeah, this ain't it. I don't want to be doing this. This ain't the life I want to live. I'm not supposed to be here. And yet every single day I was waking up, I had another opportunity to go after what I wanted or to go after what I felt like I deserved. And yet I'm still here. With acceptance comes acknowledgement, and they work hand in hand. So in order for you to accept something, you have to acknowledge it first. In my particular situation, with acknowledging the fact that I didn't finish school, I had to take accountability for my actions. There's a lot of things that led up to the point of me not finishing school. There's a lot of things that I had to acknowledge, I had to take heed of before I came to the acceptance stage of my life. Acknowledging the issue or the problem for what it is, you can begin to accept the facts. And then this is the thing, you have to ask yourself questions and be ready to answer yourself honestly. Because half the time, we're not honest with ourselves. We need to be. I know I need to be more honest with myself. When we make a decision, you need to be informed. You need to be decisive, not indecisive, and you need to commit. When you make a choice, commit to that choice. Commit to it 100%. Don't second guess yourself. Don't say, okay, I'm going to make this. I should have. No, you're going to make this choice. Make it. This is what it is. I'm going to acknowledge it for what it is. I'm not going to question it. And this is what it's going to be. You need to either accept the choice that you made into your life. Accept the fact that, okay, I didn't finish this or I didn't do this. I made this mistake. This is what happened. Accept that, or walk away from it. Realize that, okay, this is no longer serving me. Yes, I did this. Yes, I failed. Yes, I didn't win. Whatever it is that you need to accept, you either accept it or walk away from it. All of this about acceptance just leads me into accountability, because once you start accepting reality and acknowledging reality and accepting the facts, that's when accountability comes into play. Many people place their happiness in someone else's hands. I know I've done it. In relationships, friendships, and any type of interaction with any person, you put your happiness in that thing or in that person's hands, as well as blaming our problems on others. And when we do that, we're not taking responsibility for our actions as well as our reaction. Putting the blame on someone else or saying that this person did this, that's why I can't get to where I'm going. How does that benefit you? How does that make you better? You have to question these things, because with accountability, it's about self, right? I have to be accountable for my actions. When it comes down to it, I'm trying to be so accountable for my actions that when someone brings up something that happened in the past or a mistake that I made, it makes me feel no type of way. It does not move me. I am confident. Yes, I did do that. Yes, that did happen. But at the same time, I learned from it and I'm better from it. I won't make that same mistake again. With accountability, we need to take responsibility. Not only for our actions and our reactions, but for our emotions as well. It's all about perspective. When I'm upset, I now try to look internally, right? I try to see what upset me, what triggered me to act out, or what triggered me to respond in that sort of way, or what made me upset. Why is it making me act in such a negative way? What triggered me to make me feel like, I need to act on it, and then in such a negative way? Like I said, it's all about perspective. If you get upset, let's say for instance, your car won't start. Boom, you're upset. You're upset initially because your car won't start. But the fact that your car won't start, you get up, you are mad at your coworker because they're coughing loud and they're irritating you in the cubicle next to you. And so now you have an attitude, and then they say something to you and you snap on them. And now they're confused because they did nothing to you. All they did was cough. They've been sick for the past 3 days, and you're snapping on them because your car wouldn't start this morning. And what does it have to do with the next person? Half of the time, when people are upset, when people are angry, when people are like confused, it's because they have some things going on inside of them. I've done it. I have completely been upset, completely been like all up in my feelings. And I used to tweet all the time that everybody's trash. Or I think about it all the time. Everybody's trash. No, everybody's not trash. I'm feeling trashy. That's the honest truth. I'm feeling trashy. I'm feeling some type of way. I'm feeling like I can do better. I should be better. But because I don't want to look at myself and acknowledge the issue and accept the fact that I am feeling trashy and I'm feeling bad about myself, I'm projecting that energy on other people, and I'm saying it about other people, and that's not true. That is not the case. Self-discovery is very important for your path to accountability and acceptance. By knowing who you are, what you want, what you don't, you accept that you are imperfect. And I've accepted that, right? I realize that I'm not perfect. I realize I've made mistakes. I realize I've been the toxic person in someone's life. I realize that I'm not perfect. I am not perfect. I don't claim to be. I don't brag to be. All I know is I'm just grateful. And on this journey to finding out who I am and what I want and what I don't want, I'm distinguishing the facts and realizing that no matter what, it's gonna be okay. With self-discovery, like I said, you accept the fact that you're imperfect. You take responsibility for your emotions, your actions, your reactions. No one makes you feel anything. You choose to indulge in the negativity. It's your choice, because life is all about choices. If someone acts negatively towards you and you decide to respond with negativity, then you made the choice to indulge in negativity, not that person. So let's start evaluating ourselves and choose to have more empathy, okay? Empathy and understanding. And hope that people will remember what it is to be human, because we're all human at the end of the day. We all are. We all have differences. We all have things that make us unique. And I really just want us to make acceptance and accountability a priority in our lives. And watch as positivity just blooms throughout our souls. With this, just own up to it. To sum it all up, own up to it. Own up to who you are. You can't be accountable for anybody's actions but your own. Like I said, their actions, reactions, their emotion. You can't be accountable for the next person. You have to be accountable for your own. So once you're accountable for your own, no one can speak for you, because you're speaking for yourself. As I close out this second episode of MyPhilosoVie, I just want to say, continue to show a light and shed a light and be a light for the next person. We never know what the next person is going through. Like I said before, everybody's going through something, and we're going to continue to grow and flourish and break generational curses together. So that is it. That is all. And I'll see you guys in the next episode.